Guys, there are spoilers for this film and this review. So if you don't want to sing a sad song, go out to film and come back. You have been warned. Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Ron HD. So yeah, this is going to be a great time. Hey guys, and welcome back to an episode of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Ron HD, and this week we watched Song Sung Blue, a new Neil Diamond cover band film where Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson, play Lightning and Thunder, a cover band of Neil Diamond. And this film, I went into it expecting it to be more feel-good, but it was a lot sadder than I was expecting it to be. Not a bad thing. I still thought it was very enjoyable, and I very much liked it. But before I go on a tangent, why I like this film, I'll tell you why and more back at the house.
Sweet Caroline, the good times never seem so good. Oh boy!
Papa, how you doing?
How am I doing? Huge.
I just disappear in the music. You two always know what to do.
I can't thank Neil, because every thank you I got belongs to you, doll. You're my August night, my September morn, you're my crackling Rosie.
Here is lightning and thunder!
Hey guys, and welcome back to an episode of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Ron HD, and this week we watched Song Sung Blue, a new, I think it's like a biographical, drama film, also, I guess, musical as well. It could be considered it is a musical. There's a lot of music in it. Starring Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson as Lightning and Thunder, a Neil Diamond tribute band. And this film is about, well, I guess their journey from how they met to, well, I'll get there, I guess. I don't want to spoil it all in one go here. But essentially this film is about their journey as a band, as a tribute to Neil Diamond. And I will say, this film was very enjoyable, and I think the first half was very funny, right? I really liked the interactions between the characters. I really enjoyed, I liked the comedic aspect of it. But then, the second half, while there were still some, funny bits here and there, it really, went down in the vibes, right? All the vibes were gone by the second half. It was very sad. Right, it was very sad, and it kind of didn't really stop being sad, even in moments where you could see they think of them as happier moments. There was still sadness in there, right? And it was not good. Well, no, the events that were happening were not good. The movie was good, right? But the events were not good within the movie. Because if you don't know, this was also based on a true story. Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson's character, and I assume the other people in the movie were real people that actually existed. This story was a true story, at least it was based on it. And I actually did forget to mention in the intro, this is based off a documentary of the same name that was released in 2008, I believe. And I think the whole deal around it is, as I said, it's a very unexpectedly emotional movie. It's a bit of an emotional roller coaster, if you want to use that term. Because the trailers, when I saw the trailers, I thought it was going to just be a feel-good movie, about, a guy who really likes Neil Diamond, and he wanted to tribute him by, playing his music. And, he was a bit of, a local legend in Milwaukee, where he's from. I just thought it was going to be a feel-good, nice movie, but no, it is not. It is fucking sad. The entire second half is very bleak, I guess. I guess it has a bit of a, well, maybe not bleak. It's just, it has up and downs, lots of ups and downs. I do think, as I said, I just think, it really took me off guard. I had my guards down the whole like the whole first half, because as I said, I did not expect it to be that. So I'm just watching it, having fun, and then the next second, boom, a car hits one of the main characters, and she fucking loses her leg, and she has to get it amputated because it was all fucked up from the car crash, and she's like having delusions, right? And she's like very not mentally well, and Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson, they're both arguing with each other, and their kids are getting caught in the crossfire. Well, they didn't have kids together, but they had both of them had like individual kids, but they were basically whatever, you get what I mean. And it was, it was sad, but then at one point in the movie they came back. Right? They came back. They were, they had stopped doing Lightning and Thunder for so long because they were so, like, unmotivated, right? They had lost, that itch to do it again. And Hugh Jackman didn't want to do it because without her, it wouldn't be the same, But then when she came back from the hospital, she, got better, and then they were starting to do shows again, and they were on the rise, and they were, getting real popular in their hometown again, local legends making their return, their triumphant return, and everybody was going to their shows, and they had sold out, like, the biggest venue that they had ever sold out. It was like a decently sized theater, right, and they had sold out the whole thing, and it was great, and they were playing, and the crowd loved it, and they were singing along to all the songs. And he was gonna, after the show, they were actually counter-programming with the real Neil Diamond. He was having a show, in the same state of Wisconsin, and he was, since the people who couldn't go to the Neil Diamond show, they would go to, Lightning and Thunder's show, and then Neil Diamond was gonna go to, like, a frozen custard place that was down there, and, Hugh Jackman's character was gonna meet him, and it's all great. But before that, he had heart problems the whole movie, and he has heart problems, and then he fucking bangs his head on the bathroom sink, and instead of telling anybody, he seals it with fucking nail glue, and he dies. Sorry, spoilers. He doesn't die during the show. It's not like some wrestler shit, but it's like, so after, like, it's great. They go to the Frozen Custard show. There's, like, all the fans are swarming the car. They're so excited, and they're gonna leave to, like, do whatever, and then he dies in the car. Which is, I mean, that could have happened, and if it did, that's horrific, right? I guess at least, his last day was nice, right? At least his last day alive was a nice day, right? He got to have a great sold-out show. He got to have his dream show that he had talked about at the beginning of the movie. He finally was able to have his dream show with a choir and a big sold-out crowd, and he was able to, do it the way he wanted. Right, so at least, I guess his last day he got his lifelong dream of doing that, or at least his lifelong dream from when he had planned it out. And I think, it's really sad, right, and that also was really unexpected, because I didn't expect him to die, right, at all. At one point, it kind of made me think, are both of them gonna die? Or is neither of them gonna die? Right? Is Kate Hudson's character gonna die? Like, it was like, the whole movie, I'm like, holy shit, what's going on here? Because it's like, as I said, it really, like, was taking you on a trip, right? Taking you on an emotional trip. And I think, it did get to me. Like, I didn't shed tears, but I did get a little misty-eyed, it was very sad. Right, and it did. I mean, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm a big, strong man. This movie didn't tug at my heartstrings. It did, right? Because I was invested in the characters. They were likable, right? And it's just like, it was a charming movie, and obviously seeing the charming characters who I'd seen having fun in the first half go through a bunch of shit and get basically dragged through the mud was sad to see, right? Especially since these were real people. So I guess that's why they got dragged through shit, because it was real. But I think, I don't know. I just think, I like that they told this story, because I think without this movie, I never would have heard of these people, like, because obviously I don't live in Wisconsin, so maybe I would have heard of them if I was from Wisconsin. They seemed like they were quite popular in Milwaukee from where they came from. And I feel like stories like this should be told. Like, I think some people actually thought it was a Neil Diamond biopic, which I think if you did think that, you just looked at the poster instead of actually, like, looking at the trailers or anything, because it's very obvious that it's not a Neil Diamond biopic, or biopic, however you want to say it. But I think that's, as I said, that's fine. We don't need another, like, big musician or big celebrity biopic. We have tons of those, right? And I think telling more, maybe not small scale, I don't want to be, like, disrespectful. I think, like, telling lesser-known stories that are still captivating and engaging, like this, is important, you know? To, like, see, like, you know, what the fans were doing. Because he was, like, a diehard fan of Neil Diamond, right? He wouldn't be doing this if he wasn't, right? And I think it's just, I get, as I said, it's nice to tell these lesser known stories. And I don't know, I think also Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson had very good chemistry. I think both of their performances were very strong. I think, obviously, I wouldn't say they carried the movie, because that would imply, like, they were the strongest. They were really strong, but that's like saying the film had other strong aspects to it. But I think their performances were, I think, very integral to me getting invested in their characters. Because, I mean, I think Hugh Jackman is a great actor. I think Hugh Jackman is a great singer, too. He has a great voice. I didn't know Kate Hudson could sing as well as she does in the movie. I think that's really cool. I mean, apparently they said all the music that they sung in the movie, they did it live, which is, I think, an interesting way to do it. I guess it's more organic that way, right? And I guess, like, the whole movie is trying to be, like, genuine and organic, so that makes sense, right? I do think, generally, I think, obviously they were a very big highlight, is what I'm trying to get across. And I don't know what else to say. It was just a very engaging, very captivating, very, I guess, inspiring story, but also a very, I guess, a heartbreaking, very sad story at the same time. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, obviously it's supposed to be sad, right? Like, the film is trying to tug at your heartstrings, right? And I think it succeeds at that, and I think that's a good thing. Obviously, not every film needs to be, you know, all happy-go-lucky all the time, right? I think it's fine when movies want you to feel negative emotions, because, I mean, isn't the best part of art, you know, feeling things about it? I mean, that doesn't need to necessarily be positive. I mean, the whole point of it is to get you to experience something, and this really felt like an experience, the Neil Diamond experience, if you wanna call it that. But overall, I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very enjoyable time. It was very fun, and I think I would recommend it. I mean, if you're a Neil Diamond fan, I mean, if you've heard of this couple's story, or if you've seen the documentary that this film is based on, I think there's a lot of enjoyment to get out of it. And even if you don't really know of or like Neil Diamond or whatever, I still think it's an enjoyable film, right? And I feel like you can still get a lot of enjoyment out of it, so I still would recommend it. And with that being said, what would I rate this film? You know, I think I would rate this film a 7.5 out of 10. And, yeah, I think I've said what I need to say. I think I've said my piece. So, guys, I hope you like this video. Share it with friends. Subscribe. Turn those notifications on. Comment down below on how much you liked it. But you guys know how it goes. I didn't really mean to say that. What I really meant to say, so if you guys hated this video, unsubscribe, dislike, and hate me in the comments. And I've been on Time HD. Bum, bum, bum. Good times never felt so good. So good. So good. So good. Suppose you're gonna get out of me. You know, I think it's funny. You know, Neil Diamond, that song, Sweet Caroline, that's the only part of the song people know. I guess that's the only important part, because that's the part you sing along to. The rest of the song, you just kind of wait for that part, and then you sing along. You just kind of waiting. So, I was watching this movie, right? And I was watching it, and, like, I think the thing about it was I went into it, because, like, most of the trailer just used a lot of stuff from the first half. Alright, so I just expected it to be, like, a feel-good story about, you know, like, these, like, local legends in Milwaukee covering Neil Diamond. And then the second half had something like, oh dear. Not what I expected. It, like, really hit. It, like, if I've ever said the word tonal whiplash before, that is what I felt like. It's like I got whipped with sadness, and that's what it felt like. And, it didn't feel good. And not a bad thing. Sometimes the intention of a movie is to make you feel bad, right? So that was the intention of the movie. I'm fine with that. But it definitely was not expected. It was welcome, but not expected. I don't have it in me. Bum, bum, bum. Good times never felt so good. So good. So good. So good.